A massive Russian base, once thought to be impenetrable, was just struck by ATACMS. But what happened after the hit truly stunned the world. An unprecedented chain reaction of explosions began to spread. Target spotted. A BM-21 multiple rocket launcher system. The Ukrainian forces immediately deploy an FPV drone. The operator patiently tracks the target, guiding a precise strike on the ammo-loaded vehicle. A massive explosion tears through the air. The enemy's rocket system is wiped out in an instant. Another Russian artillery unit is exposed. Despite efforts to conceal its position, the coordinates are captured and relayed to the HIMARS system. Instantly, a punishing strike is launched. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any epic strikes or the latest frontline updates. A precise shot completely destroys the enemy artillery. Shrapnel hits a nearby ammunition truck with the same devastating result. Everything is leveled. Just a few miles away, a Russian fuel truck is spotted. HIMARS locks on and the missile is launched. A strike as surgical as a scalpel. The enemy vehicle is engulfed in flames. Near that area, reconnaissance units spot an even larger supply convoy, and the nightmare isn't over yet. Shrapnel from the blast hits a nearby truck packed with ammunition, triggering a massive chain explosion. From a single precise shot, the enemy's entire firepower cluster turns into a sea of flames. Just a few miles away, a Russian supply convoy begins to move fuel trucks, ammo carriers, and logistics vehicles. But they're all in the crosshairs. HIMARS doesn't miss the opportunity. It locks on and opens fire. The missiles scream through the air at deadly speed, each one hitting like a thunderhammer. In seconds, over 10 vehicles are completely destroyed, the entire convoy blown apart. There's nowhere to hide, no time to react. This strike doesn't just wipe out hardware, it tears through the enemy's entire logistics system. A modern Russian electronic warfare system is spotted by Ukrainian reconnaissance while operating in the combat zone. The coordinates are immediately relayed to the HIMARS command center. The first missile lands near the target. Shrapnel slices through the outer shell, causing severe damage. But Ukraine leaves no room for survival. A second missile is launched this time, a direct hit. The multi-million-dollar electronic warfare system erupts in flames. This strike doesn't just destroy equipment, it shatters the enemy's technological advantage. A Russian S-300 radar station had just begun setting up when it was detected by Ukrainian aerial reconnaissance. Before the enemy could activate the system, the coordinates were immediately passed to HIMARS. A single missile was launched, clean, precise, and relentless. The radar took a direct hit and was obliterated in seconds. Every attempt at long-range defense was wiped out before it had a chance to take effect. This wasn't just a preemptive strike. It was a clear warning. Ukraine will strike first, fast, accurate, and leaving no target behind. Over the skies of Rostov, 2 Ukrainian F-16 second streak through like invisible arrows, each carrying a Storm Shadow, a powerful stealth missile. The target, a massive Russian ammunition depot. When the missiles are released, there's no alarm, no counterattack, only a blinding flash, like a sunrise in the dead of night. The explosion shakes the sky, and thousands of tons of munitions vanish in a sea of fire. A strike that's more than just destruction, it shatters the illusion that Russia's rear lines are untouchable. Two Russian BMPs were carrying out an assault mission when they were spotted. Ukraine didn't engage head-on. Instead, they unleashed a swarm of FPV drones. Small but deadly, these machines raced toward their targets. The crews panicked, abandoned their vehicles, and fled. But the drones didn't stop. One BMP was struck directly through the open hatch, detonating inside the cabin with a violent blast, turning the armored vehicle into a charred heap of metal. The second met the same fate. This wasn't just a tactical victory, it was a masterclass in precision warfare and psychological pressure at its peak. A Russian BM-27 multiple rocket launcher system falls under the watchful eye of a Ukrainian drone and is quickly marked as a high-value target. HIMARS receives the order and fires immediately. At first, it seems the missile missed the ground, shakes slightly, but there's no massive explosion. Then, everything changes. A small spark from the initial impact quietly ignites an ammo crate and erupts like hellfire. Flames lick across the ammunition stock, triggering a chain reaction. Rockets start firing off wildly in all directions, as if the BM-27 system itself has turned against its own side. A war machine turned into a blazing nightmare. No need for a perfect hit, just strike the weak spot and let the ammunition do the rest. This was a smart, cold, and ruthless strike. It didn't just destroy hardware, it shattered confidence in tactical safety. A brutal wake-up call to the entire Russian artillery network. Even the smallest miscalculation can blow an entire position sky high. A Russian Buk air defense system, a symbol of sky-shielding power, just appeared on Ukraine's reconnaissance radar. Without a moment's hesitation, the coordinates were relayed and HIMARS opened fire. The missile tore through the air with pinpoint accuracy, piercing camouflage and striking like a blade from the sky. A direct hit, leaving no chance of survival. The Buk, a weapon worth tens of millions of dollars, was reduced to ashes. This wasn't just a physical victory, it was a devastating blow to the enemy's faith in their own technology. Just as a Ukrainian tank was preparing to leave the battlefield after its mission, the gunner spotted a faint movement in the forest. A Russian BMP was hiding beneath the trees, waiting for the right moment to strike. No need for lengthy discussion, the tank crew reacted in an instant. The main cannon rotated smoothly, locked onto the target. One cold, calculated trigger pull. The shell ripped through the air, pierced the foliage, and slammed directly into the enemy vehicle. In an instant, the BMP's turret shot into the air like a pot lid blown off by an explosion, soaring dozens of meters high. Thick black smoke poured from the burning hull. Everything happened cleanly, decisively, not a second wasted. This wasn't just a precise shot, it was proof of the Ukrainian tank crew's absolute vigilance and razor-sharp battlefield reflexes. In this war, a single moment of hesitation can mean the difference between survival and destruction. But this time, Ukraine struck first, faster, sharper, more precise, and the victory was theirs, even as they were preparing to leave the battlefield. In a sky filled with jamming and electronic interference, Ukraine unleashed the Switchblade, an AI-powered kamikaze drone. Its mission: eliminate a group of Russian armored vehicles just spotted. While conventional drones were rendered useless by electronic warfare, the Switchblade flew straight, as if guided by sight, independently identifying and locking onto its target. A perfect dive, the BMP exploded, and its crew scattered in panic. But there was nowhere to hide. One by one, the following drones finished off the remaining targets. This was a battlefield where smart tech triumphed completely over passive defense. A Russian command center was hidden inside what looked like an abandoned building until a reconnaissance drone caught enemy troops moving in and out. Wasting no time, Ukraine deployed a MiG-29, armed with a HIMARS smart bomb. From over 50 kilometers away, the bomb was released with near-perfect precision. Seconds later, the ground shook. The entire command center was leveled and wiped off the map without a trace. This wasn't just an airstrike, it was a direct hit to the enemy's command spine. When the brain is taken out, every remaining order becomes meaningless. A series of Russia's strategic targets, from radar systems and command centers to massive ammunition depots, were systematically uncovered by Ukrainian reconnaissance. Instead of striking them one by one, Ukrainian forces coordinated drones and HIMARS into a single, unified assault. The drones moved in first, acting as bait or probing for weak spots, then HIMARS delivered the finishing blow. The result was maximum impact, cascading explosions, ammo depots erupting like earthquakes, and blinding flashes lighting up the night. This is modern warfare, where victory doesn't come from brute force alone, but from smart, precise, and relentless coordination. Deep inside Russian territory, once thought to be absolutely secure supply convoys, fuel trains, and ammo depots suddenly began to erupt in flames. Ukrainian long-range drones silently infiltrated, tracking every movement, then HIMARS struck. Each missile landed with pinpoint accuracy, destroying supply trucks, fuel depots, ammunition stockpiles, and even troop staging areas. Russia's rear lines were no longer a safe zone, they had become a second battlefield. Ukraine wasn't just hitting the front lines, they were severing the enemy's lifeline, draining their strength from within. Russian armored columns, including BMPs, tanks, and self-propelled artillery, surged into the battlefield, hoping to shift the tide. But their plans unraveled quickly, as Ukrainian reconnaissance drones detected their movements. FPV drones were unleashed like a deadly whirlwind. One struck the tracks, another dove straight into the driver's hatch. Vehicle by vehicle, the convoy was dismantled. In panic, Russian crews abandoned their machines, fleeing the very war engines they once trusted. But Ukraine didn't stop there. The next wave of drones slammed into the immobilized targets, finishing off the entire convoy. Flames roared skyward, ammo cooked off in violent bursts, and the charred remains of armored vehicles lay scattered across the battlefield. Millions of dollars worth of war machines were reduced to twisted scrap in just minutes. This wasn't just a tactical loss, it was a collapse of morale. Ukraine wasn't merely destroying enemy vehicles, they were striking fear, shaking the enemy's belief in the very armor they once trusted to protect them. A $50 million BUKM-3 air defense system, a crown jewel of Russian military tech, had just moved into its combat position when it was spotted by a Ukrainian drone. No need for jets or expensive long-range missiles, just a few $100 FPV drone zipped in, slipped past all camouflage, and detonated directly on the vehicle. A critical strike, and the air defense system went up in flames. This wasn't just a win in firepower, it was undeniable proof. The game has changed. In this new era, agility and small-scale tech are beating bulk and complexity.
Russia's tank force lose one after another, leaving less for tomorrow.
From a single precise strike, the enemy's entire logistics, air defense, and morale collapsed like dominoes. This wasn't just a victory, it was a bold statement. If you want to see more high-level combat action, drop a comment and follow the channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And as the smoke finally settled, the entire base lay in ruins, as if it had never existed. ATACMS didn't just destroy a target, it rewrote the rules of modern warfare,